Some 18,000 airline pilots will reach the mandatory retirement age over the next 7 years. But finding replacements is becoming a huge challenge. After the deadly 2009 crash of a commuter plane near Buffalo, New York, Congress raised the requirements to fly, increasing the training cost to more than $100,000 a pilot. Kris Van Cleave shows us how one major airline is exploring a controversial solution.
So basically just keep the airplane.
Just keep it flying like this.
Usually, when someone makes it into the cockpit of one of JetBlue's multi-million-dollar flight simulators, he or she is already a seasoned pilot or the occasional reporter.
This looks good.
Yeah, we're not on the ground yet.
But that is about to change as the airline is experimenting with a new way to hire pilots. Calling the program Gateway 7, JetBlue will soon accept 24 people with little or no aviation experience and train them to be a co-pilot by 2020.
It doesn't matter how many hours of pilot time you have or how, thousands and thousands or a few, the standards are the same. You have to meet the proficiency standards to be qualified and have the FAA certification and certificate.
We visited the JetBlue Training Center earlier this year. Senior Vice President of Safety, Security, and Training, Warren Christie.
It's a very scientific method that we use to train. We collect a lot of data on pilot training performance along with all of our other groups, so we know where additional emphasis is required.
The airline says these pilots will meet the FAA's mandated minimum 1,500 flight hours to start work as a commercial pilot while going through an unprecedented level of screening.
It's almost like a STEM program in that it's going to attract young people into a profession possibly that they had not considered before. And getting them when they're just starting in the flying program, I think is a good idea.
And comes at a time when smaller airlines are already having trouble finding enough pilots. Dan Elwell is an aviation consultant, a former airline pilot and FAA official.
Is it really necessary to look at alternative ways to train pilots? Is this pilot shortage a real deal?
There has been a reduction in the number of young people that are getting into flying, and there are a tremendous amount of people that are retiring from flying at the same time. So it's kind of losing it on both ends a little bit. So we need to find more innovative ways to get young people involved in flying.
The Regional Airline Association, which represents smaller carriers, is hoping to create a faster path to the cockpit. Its new proposal calls for a program run by the airlines to train pilots, saying in a statement, it contains substantial enhancements that reach a higher level of safety than current flight training pathways and offers a meaningful and quantifiable measure of experience for pilot training. The Airline Pilots Association is expressing concern about these ideas, saying in a statement programs like the one currently being discussed at JetBlue should not be used to undermine or weaken today's current FAA regulations that ensure safety is paramount. For CBS This Morning, Kris Van Cleave, Washington.
Yeah, I wonder if the airline's going to let you know when you got one of those newly trained pilots.
That's right. You've gone through their new system. My guess is not.
Guess who you're flying with.
Yeah.